Enactus, IIT Delhi, started as a dream and passion of a few enterprising minds. It has now become a tradition where year after year, project after project, smiles are spread, lives are touched, and reveries are stirred into reality. The road has been tough, even unpredictable at times, but the journey has been immensely satisfying. It begins with our first project, Food for Life, which caters to the Burmese refugee community in Delhi.
Home to numerous tribes, ethnic groups, and diverse languages, Burma is a beautiful mosaic of cultures. But 5 decades of military rule, extrajudicial killings, and violence have forced the ethnics to leave their homeland and take refuge in neighboring countries. Today, nearly 10,000 Burmese refugees reside in the Vikaspuri area of New Delhi.
India is not a signatory of the 1951 UN Refugee Convention, forcing the vulnerable refugees to live in obscure margins amidst poverty and untenable living conditions.
The barriers of language and culture leave them prone to exploitation at workplace and neglect by society. Their voices echo silently for help. Their eyes desperately seek hope.
And hope came in the form of something which was already an inseparable aspect of their culture, their food.
Burmese cuisine is an exotic blend of Indian and Chinese with a sprinkle of authentic Burmese taste. Food is at the heart of the Burmese culture. In times of misery, it reminds them of their better days. Our project shows them how food is also the key to their search for identity, to their right to lead a happy, prosperous life.
This is why we call our project Food for Life.
Our business strategy converts their cuisine to a profitable value proposition for a successful business. Together with our entrepreneur cooks, we have created an independent Indo-Burmese restaurant managed entirely by the refugees.
However, huge challenges had to be overcome first. A clear lack of trust existed within the community. Language issues created another barrier. The cooks were amateur, lacking sense of hygiene and professionalism. Also, Burmese cuisine being unrecognized in Delhi food scene was a challenge in itself.
We adopted a 3 verticals approach to deal with these issues, focusing simultaneously on increasing community outreach, professional training of cooks, and cultural integration. We hired translators from the community itself who helped us communicate and overcome the trust barrier. We collaborated with DBA, the refugee welfare partner of UNHCR, to increase our community outreach and conduct community-wide cooking competitions to identify talented cooks.
We established a hierarchical system to channel the trained cooks from stalls to cooking internships at DBA, where they can gain job experience. And finally, in the professionally run Burmese food restaurant. We then partnered with Delhi Food Walks and put up stalls and medium-scale catering services at events throughout Delhi. Through these opportunities, we trained amateur cooks and gained feedback to improve the quality of food. Stalls also provided significant market exposure.
We then helped one of our cooks open an Indo-Burmese food restaurant in Vikaspuri using a loan taken from DBA. We marketed the service among the target audience by means of pamphlets, posters, and word-of-mouth publicity. We also took adequate care of the supply chain, ensuring high-quality ingredients and hygiene to gain customer trust.
The impact of our efforts is best understood by the stories of our entrepreneurs. We were successful in creating employment for 14 refugee cooks and 17 helpers, generating a revenue of 1,80,000 rupees. Through stalls, catering events, yearly food internships, and a restaurant service, we have achieved a phenomenal growth of 600%. We are now foray into catering service at events has even generated 20,000 rupees in a single day. We are now partnering with high-end event management companies, expanding FFL across Delhi and creating a food enterprise with an annual revenue of at least 7.5 lakh rupees.
FFL has touched more than 56,000 lives. Through extensive media coverage in national dailies like The Hindu and popular blogs like Your Story and Coolidge, we have managed to tell this story to over 16 lakh people in India.
More than bridging a cultural divide, Food for Life has brought back the smiles on the faces of our cooks. But the journey doesn't end here. In our second project Arch, we deal with an unrecognized and underappreciated issue that pervades throughout rural India.
Cooking is an act of love. None of us can ever disregard the love and care with which our mothers cook food for us. But miles away from the opulent city lives, in poverty-stricken villages, cooking kills. 8,75,000 women and children in rural India die every year as a result of this seemingly harmless activity.
400 million people in India cook their daily meals on toxic, smoke-spewing traditional cook stoves. This is equivalent to 9 out of every 10 households in rural India.
Traditional cook stoves emit harmful substances such as carbon monoxide, particulates and benzene at levels up to 100 times higher than the recommended limits set by WHO. Inhalation of these causes acute lower respiratory infections, lung cancer, cataracts and even birth defects.
Needless to say, countless villages and communities in India are facing the wrath of traditional cook stoves. With our flagship project Arch, we aim to bring a change, beginning with a 22,000 member strong community in Bhandhari Mines, New Delhi.
The journey of Arch started with the realization that women were the primary victims in this entire issue, and hence the solution must begin with them and keep them as a primary stakeholder at all stages. We envisioned Arch as a sustainable project where local women who cannot afford a clean energy solution could co-create cheaper, more accessible alternatives for themselves and their community.
Intensive surveys indicated that for customer adoption, the cook stove needed to be cost-effective, modular, ergonomically strong, and adaptable to varied cooking habits of rural users. After extensive product research, we narrowed down to an Index Award winner cook stove designed by Philips. Its modular design optimizes solid fuel consumption, increasing efficiency by 66% and achieving very low smoke output by means of a carefully designed aircraft mechanism.
Keeping both the local market and the scalability in mind, we created a central manufacturing hub in Bhandhari Mines and set up a distribution network of smokeless stoves to places in and around Delhi.
We started working with 5 motivated women entrepreneurs and made them invest 4,000 rupees to ensure that they had substantial stake in the project. An understanding of purchasing power and local community dynamics was gained through an initial market survey, which led us to develop a cost leadership strategy, focusing on the price-sensitive nature of the rural market. We aimed at providing the highest value-to-cost ratio through this enterprise.
We conducted extensive thermal stress tests on the chimney in our design lab and designed a length customizable cement chimney with the lowest cost. We also simplified the design of the combustion chamber and enhanced the durability of soot collector. Through our efforts, we brought down the manufacturing cost by 41% from 1100 rupees to 600 rupees.
We ran an online crowdfunding campaign in partnership with wishberry.com, generating a funding of 35,000 from the masses. This money was used to provide an early bird discount of 30% on the first 25 stores, giving us the much needed initial thrust. An EMI scheme was launched, keeping in mind the daily fluctuating wages of the target customers. This, along with a referral scheme and a free trial scheme, attracted even more customers.
Awareness creation in the community was accomplished by word-of-mouth publicity, street plays, and sample stove installation at prominent public places. In collaboration with Max India Foundation, we are conducting health camps to sensitize the community about indoor air pollution and forge a bond of trust with them.
Due to the close-knit structure of the community, our project could not afford a single unsatisfied customer. Monthly after-sales maintenance visits were conducted by the entrepreneurs. customers were also trained in low-cost, do-it-yourself maintenance of the stores.
Through effective outreach by multiple channels, we have achieved a pan-India recognition for Ranch, and this shows in our orders ranging from Jammu Kashmir to Maharashtra.
After establishing a manufacturing hub in Bhandhari mines, we started creating similar ecosystems in farther located regions in the country. One such region was the ravaged, riot-affected area of Muzaffarnagar. A recent conflict between Hindus and Muslims in the area had left more than 50,000 innocents displaced and without shelter, forced to live in temporary camps where the basic amenities are scarce.
To improve their condition, JFM Trust built houses for them, but 70% of them came back. Our stores are turning their houses into homes.
Currently, our women entrepreneurs are training the women victims of these camps and setting up a local franchise in Muzaffarnagar. Under their guidance, these empowered women will manufacture smokeless stoves for the new rehabilitation project by GFM Trust, comprising of 80 newly constructed homes for the displaced riot victims.
Enactus believes in bringing a positive change in the society through entrepreneurial action. ANS has been a token of our beliefs. Our women entrepreneurs have received orders of 105 low-smoke stuffs this year, showing a growth of 875%. This amounts to a revenue of 1,20,000 rupees for our 12 women entrepreneurs in Bhandhari and Muzaffarnagar. Beyond financial security, this income has helped gain them recognition in a primarily male-dominated rural society, where it is believed that only the male member can earn and sustain the family.
Our stove reduces fuel usage by 66%, generating savings of 750 rupees per month for each family. This translates into 28 lakh rupees of total savings for all our customers, many of whom earn less than 100 rupees a day. With each stove sold, our women customers save an additional 18 hours per week, amounting to a total of 98,000 hours saved in a year. This they can now spend with their children or utilize in productive pursuits like employment and education.
Our cook stove boasts a 48% reduction in smoke emission, creating healthier, happier lives for 525 women and children.
Each stove saves 2 fully grown trees annually. This amounts to all our stoves saving a total of 840 trees in their entire usage lifetime. A positive environmental impact which we are proud of.
Our strong numbers reflect our efforts, but at the end of the day, these are just numbers. Our truest achievement in Project Arch is seen in the change we have spurred in the lives of women entrepreneurs. They are now famous in the village as the new businesswomen. Their eyes show faith, hope, and a newfound belief in themselves.
इसमें जब तक काले दिन होते और धुआं भी नहीं लगता है आँखों पे और ईंधन भी कम फूटता है और खाना अच्छा बनता है। बच्चे जब मैं खाना बनाती थी पास बैठते थे तो आँखों पर धुआं लगता था, अब धुआं बिल्कुल भी नहीं लगता और खाना भी अच्छा बनता। उसके बाद बच्चे पढ़ने जाते हैं, अपने बच्चों को भी घर भेजते स्कूल भेजते हैं, उसके बाद अपना घर का काम भी करते हैं और मेरे स्टोर करते हैं, बनाते भी अपने घर में कहीं लगाना होता है हम चले जाते हैं स्टोर कर लेते हैं।
Our positive environmental impact helped us back the prestigious Swecha Influence Fellowship worth 50,000 rupees. Art's tangible women empowerment across India was recognized by Walmart Women Economic Empowerment Project, fetching us an additional 30,000 rupees.
But the greatest recognition of our efforts came in the form of the Amazing Indians Award by the Times Now Group, which recognizes social enterprises across India with the innovative impact on the society.
A team that visits this community in Bhandhari mines in the outskirts of Delhi every week. The highlight of the business model is to empower women in the community. and train them to manufacture and install these smokeless stoves. These women as social entrepreneurs generate a profit of 400 rupees for 8 hours of work, which is nearly double of their original earnings. The parts are put together in such a way that the heat is distributed evenly, resulting in efficient cooking, producing less smoke. An idea that started as project work has now turned into a passion for these students, aiming to make cooking healthier and simpler for rural women.
We have set up a sustainable supply chain in Bhandhari, and in the coming year, we hope to maintain a growth of 400%. Our exit strategy is to nurture some of our entrepreneurs as project managers to handle all business activities and gain enough experience and know-how that Arch becomes a self-sustained project.
Through Arch and using the Enactus model, we are creating positive change, lasting change.
In the past 1 year, our team has grown to 43 members with 20,800 contact tasks in the communities, representing a 254% increase in team involvement.
At Enactus IIT Delhi, we love to challenge ourselves. More than in numbers and figures, we find satisfaction in the tangible outcomes that we generate and the impact these numbers translate into for the communities we work with.
Through our work, we have created our own story, our own take, notwithstanding the obstacles that present themselves in front of us.
We are Enactus IIT Delhi. We are the heart.
We will now begin the question and answer session.
Yeah, how can we accelerate Arch to rapidly, exponentially grow and impact a lot more people?
Thank you, sir, for the question. In Project Arch, after the Times Now Award and the Amazing Games of outreach that we have done on our own, we are receiving a lot of proposals for collaboration from all over India. For the exponential expansion, our strategy is to first create manufacturing hubs in the regions near Delhi, for example, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, and from those manufacturing hubs, then we will, in a kind of a ripple effect, we'll create further manufacturing hubs.
Since your height of your chimney is probably variable, how do you install it and what are the issues you have encountered and how do you solve them?
Thank you, sir, for the question. Initially, when we started the project, the height was constant at 10 feet. Then we realized that in rural homes, the height of the roof varies a lot. It took us around a time of 2 to 3 months to us to design a customizable chimney. So there's a bracket in between. The lower part of the chimney is 6 feet and the upper part is variable. That also allows us to reduce the cost of the stove overall.
When did the project Arch start for IIT Enactus? When did you start that?
So the research and the conceptualization thing and talking with the consultants and the market experts started in the November of 2012. In January, at the end of the January 2013, we first trained our first 5 set of women entrepreneurs. After that, from February, we started publicizing the stuff in the local area of Bharti Mines.
You answer my question. You answer.
How do you plan to upscale your activities with Burmese refugees?
Thank you, sir, for the question. I'd like to answer it. So, in the expansion aspect, we currently opened a restaurant in the Janakpuri area, and we hope to have a strong foothold in the restaurant. With the single restaurant, we hope to build our networks and improve the quality of the food. But our basic focus for now, in the coming few months, is on the catering sector. We are currently in talks with Shub caterers, and they are helping us to impart the professional trainings to the refugee cooks and to transfer the managerial roles in them, to instill empowerment in them. And to expand it in the coming months, we hope to partner with other high-end management companies. Shub cater is only for the first step, for the initial experience part, and then we will rapidly expand into the nearby areas of Delhi and Jhansi.
to brand your store and your restaurant on a bigger scale so that more people know about it?
Thank you, ma'am, for the question. So in Food for Life, we have created online advertisements through social media channels, and those advertisements have become very famous on Facebook and YouTube. Apart from that, in the local region of Vikaspuri, we are distributing pamphlets, posters, and the word of mouth publicity. In the project Arch, we have already received a lot of media attention, through which a lot of NGOs are also contacting us, and we have collaborated with an NGO called Prava, who on its own collaborates with rural organizations. So we are sending up proposals of collaboration to those rural NGOs through Prava, and through that we are reaching to them, and then the collaboration will start.
Do you have reduction in smoke other than you achieved due to efficiency?
Yes. So the 45% reduction in smoke that was mentioned by the speakers is actually the improvement due to the efficiency of the combustion chamber. So the reduced smoke, the 45% reduced smoke goes out of the chimney, and in the home there is absolutely no smoke.
Totally due to the efficiency, right?
Yes.
So if it's so efficient, why have only 601 people bought the store?
Thank you, ma'am, for the question. When you are working with the rural users, there are a lot of barriers to adoption among the masses. First, the very important...
Your time has expired.